states. We are not focused on 12 or 15 main markets. We will look for submissions from agents from anywhere. Our model is very simple. It's a formula that we'll put in writing, but I'll let you know now if you have pen and paper. Our product is, again, something that needs a rehab, not just a front door, but something that really needs some work done on. So our model is based on a purchase price times 1.35 plus the rehab dollar amount, and that added together should be the resale price. So let me break down those four components. The purchase price does not have to be the list price, doesn't have to be 20, 30, 40% below the list price in the MLS. We buy properties over list in some cases because the value is so great. But what we look forward to hearing from an agent when they actually submit a property to us is that we feel this property is worth X for the following reasons: either day on market, condition of the property, or what have you. The rehab price is going to be based on several factors, not only you as the agents and brokers that know construction costs and what it would take to do 2 bathrooms, a kitchen, carpets and paint, and maybe a roof, but also comments that are in the MLS you can send to us, pictures that will be available for us to take a look at the condition of the property. If none of that is even an opportunity for you to be able to make a guesstimate on the rehab, we ask you to use a $1,300 per year based on the age of the home. So if it's a 20-year-old home, it'd be about approximately $25,000 to $26,000 for the rehab. And we'll refine that even more so as we look at photographs and take a look at possibly other conditions of the home that we feel are important to be sure we add into these numbers. Then once you add the rehab cost to a purchase price that has been multiplied by 1.35, it's the resale price. The resale price, we put a lot of weight in solds and pendings in your marketplace. For us to know there's 16 actives and 9 sales in the last 6 months is not good for us. We want to see we've got 8 sold properties, we've got 3 pending, 2 of them are multiple offers. Whatever you can share with us to tell the story of that house in that marketplace will go a long way and quite quickly. We have various ways of submitting properties, one of them being, of course, with Realty Pilot through the portal system there. We have a 24-hour turnaround time with regards to the numbers you submit, our back-end underwriting efforts, and we'll be emailing you back as to our findings. And you'll have typically 3 responses. One will be, this is a home run, love your numbers, we agree on the purchase price, the rehab is dead on, and the resale, we see it all day long, write it up. Another will be, we'll actually counter your back and state that we just don't see the resale being that high, for example, and your rehab is a little low. So we would like to, instead of your suggestion to offer $150,000 to purchase, we'll suggest, well, we can only offer $135,000. So it'll be a varying components of our replies that based on that allow us to move forward on this particular property and an offer. And then thirdly, it would be maybe just a flat-out rejection. We might do our homework internally and find that, no, again, there are 20 active properties and only 4 sold in 6 months. So that's an unfortunate deal killer right away. We don't want to be sitting in line days on market. Our turn time is anywhere from 90 to 120 days, depending on the location of the property in the country and the size of the rehab. So take that into consideration. It's 90 to 120 days. We do not want to be sitting on the market for 120 days. We want it within that time frame to have purchased your property, rehabbed it, and resold it. That's how quickly we like to turn these. Any questions so far, if I can throw that out there?
I don't see any questions in there yet. No, Earl.
Okay, great. Some of the criteria that we look for when we go to have properties submitted to us, we're not interested in any single-family residents that are in rural areas or older than 1978. The rural areas we typically have come across either septic issues, lot line issues. We know that in many marketplaces, these properties do get bought from other investors who want to rent them out, and renters that do long commutes. You know, it's just not a real quick resale as far as rural when it comes to rural areas. In 1978, I think it's pretty obvious to most agents it's the lead-based paint. We don't want to get involved with that. But if there's just too great of a deal to pass up and the agent sees it all day long, by all means, it's not a, end of the road as far as submissions. If it's something in 1970 or 1972, by all means submit it and let us know the story as to why you think it's something we shouldn't pass up on. The property size should be at least a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. We do not want to look at 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And no size is too big either. A 4-bedroom, 3 bath is great. 5-bedroom, 2.5 bath, what have you. Those sizes are fine for us. So again, nothing less than a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. We also like to look at properties that are over 1,000 square feet in size. We don't want to get into an 875 square foot home, which is not going to be a 3-bedroom to begin with. So that's pretty much the cutoff point. Our acquisition, the values that we like to take a look at. We're not interested in buying a $50,000 property, putting $20,000 into it and selling it for $100,000. We like to buy properties that have a resale value after the rehab, a resale value of $125,000. And we also like to have a resale values of properties that we purchase that resale for less than $650,000. So again, we pick up a property for $480,000. We throw $70,000 into it. Now we're into it for $550,000. We turn around and try to sell it for $635,000. We don't want to buy a $600,000 house, put $50,000 in it, and try to sell it for $810,000, something of that sort. We're just trying to keep between $125,000 as a low end, $650,000 as a high end. There is no limit on the rehab costs. We've put over $500,000 in the house, as well as the purchase price. It has to, again, make sense once the numbers fall in between $125,000 and $650,000. Again, our formula is the purchase price times 1.35, basically 0.35, plus the rehab dollar equals the resale value. All of these parameters I've just put out in front of you, there's a little gray area on each end of the spectrum. So if it's just a great deal and the agent, your broker, you're feeling very strong about it, when you submit, the more comments you can tell, the more story you can convey to us, it will help us a lot more see a better picture of it with you on the ground there. Let me just once again see if there are any questions about some of these items.
We actually do have a few questions, Earl. The first one is pretty simple. Does it have to be my listing only? And as far as our system is concerned, it can be any property that you as an agent can legally represent. But your company doesn't have a preference on that, right, Earl? It's just a house is what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's correct. The question being, does it have to be that agent's own listing? No, not at all. I mean, all the more power to them if it is, because they have an opportunity to double-end it. But no, we know that an agent will have a far more opportunity to glean their own MLS, every day for back on market, new on the market, price reductions. That's what I recommend to any agent who wants to delve into this. First thing in the morning, that's what you're looking for, those types of changes on the MLS for properties that would be of interest to us.
Okay, and then we also have, are you a National Community Stabilization Trust member?
Are we a National Community Stabilization Trust member?
That says, are you an NCST? I'm personally not familiar with that. So.
Yeah, and I actually have our expertise in that field in my office. You just heard me ask that question. We are not a member, but we provide capital for those members, for the acquisitions of those assets.
And,
okay.
This is Doug. I got a question earlier today regarding, regarding, are you willing to work with wholesalers? And I think you probably should address that as well.
Yes, I saw that email, and yes, we are interested in certainly wholesalers, pools, where other opportunities we are interested in. Agents and brokers on the call today have access to it would be raw land that's entitled, or a preliminary tentative map, final map, busted subdivisions, infill opportunities, non-performing notes, on top of single-family residence up to 1 to 4 units.
Okay, and then the last one that I have here is bulk sales. Who do you use for a construction crew in Minnesota? And I guess if I could frame that a little bit differently, I think the more important question would be, since you're buying nationally, is there going to be any agent involvement in the rehab process as far as finding vendors, contractors, things like that, or do you already have a network that you're working with all over the place?
Sure. Sure. Two-part question. So who we're using in Minnesota? Right now, as the process unfolds, we always, once we're into contract, we lean on the agent to get some recommendations from them, from folks that are in that marketplace and know the construction rules, regulations, permit process, things of that sort. And 9 out of 10, an agent will actually know someone that says, yes, here's the guy I work with, I trust them, they do a great job, they're timely, they're fair in their pricing. And so we'll ask that we get a bid with the agent's assistance to have access to the property, get that bid sent to us, and then we actually reach out to either a regional construction firm that might manage 5 or 6 states. We actually have resources of firms that actually handle all 50 states. So it depends on their workload, how available they are, all kinds of factors. That's who we would call out to get a second bid on. And once again, we would ask the agent to be enrolled in having access for that individual to share with them, to be apples and apples on both bids, to get them in there in a timely fashion. How it unfolds is once we are in contract, well, let me back up. Once we tell you that, yes, these are the numbers they work, we will ask you to send back all the disclosures and contracts that need to be signed. They arrive at our office, either DocuSign or a wet signature, either way, via email or a portal. We'll print them out, get everything they can DocuSign signed off. We will package it back up with a copy of our LLC docs, a proof of funds, and a copy of an earnest money deposit check. And that will all go back to the agent to get in front of the seller. It's executed, it's back to us, and the clock starts to tick. We will wire the earnest money deposit or send a check, depending on the process in that state. And then we have a 10 to 11-day process for the due diligence. And it's in that time frame that we get 2 bids for the construction. By day 10, 11, everything's in hand. We massage the numbers, and a couple of things can unfold. If we actually had an estimate of, say, $25,000 for the rehab, and both bids have come in at $34,000 and $38,000, we have some choices to make. We can cancel the deal based on how bad those. Maybe it's a cracked foundation, or we found some slippage, or a sinkhole in the backyard. We could cancel on those conditions, or we could counter back to the seller and maybe meet somewhere halfway, maybe relook at our resale numbers and see if we can bump that resale number up so that we could pay a little bit more for the rehab. So either we cancel or we counter it. Or the numbers come back and yes, they're $26,000 each, we're going for it, we're moving forward. And that's by day 10, 11. And from there, it's all on the title's shoulders to get us closed. And we'll wire the funds and be done in 17 to 20 days with a closed escrow. And then we move forward with signing contracts with those contractors. We once again, whoever we pick, ask the agent to maybe once in a while pop in on that property, maybe be our eyes and ears that, yep, the work is proceeding, it's looking good, what have you. We will look for that agent when it's completed to give their thumbs up on it, in so much that they'd be proud enough to put their sign in the front yard, because that's what we offer them. We offer them the opportunity to relist that property for us after we've completed the rehab. And once again, they can not only be the listing agent, but actually through an open house or their marketing campaign, represent the buyer as well. So that's why we call it a grand slam. With respect, they can bring their own listing, we buy it from them, we give it back to them, and they can sell it again. 4 hits of commission.
Okay, and for construction rehab, do you use unit pricing for bids?
No. Now, the contractors may, who are actually being used or being requested to get the bids, but no, we don't have anything internally that states that, the average bedroom door costs $135 installed, the square foot and pad of carpeting and tack strip is such and such. We don't do that internally. We just know from our metrics of doing thousands of properties over the many years we've been doing this that $1,300 is about the average price per year of the age of the home. And again, that can fluctuate just based on the fact that maybe someone's already redid the kitchen, but it's the bathrooms and such that need the work. So no unit pricing.
Okay, and what about utilities? Do you pay directly or do you require the agent to pay utilities?
We ask the agent to put the utilities on in their name, and we reimburse them. And that can be, we're very flexible on that for whatever circumstances might be the case.
Okay. And so far, that's all I have. Do you have anything else to add, Earl?
Thinking about, that's where we've been, that's where we're at, that's where we're looking to go. Again, it's across the board in all 50 states. We're not only looking just for, 4 walls and a roof. We're looking for opportunities to go vertical on land, non-performing notes if some of the brokers on the phone might have some connections. We're always trying to raise capital as well. As I mentioned or not, we're already managing $300 million. But with the amount of opportunities that are constantly coming in front of us, we always go with the door open. Anybody that might know someone who has some equity opportunities to invest in a program that has proven track record. We recently were audited, and we have a bond rating of a AA minus, which is basically, after looking it up on Wikipedia, I found out it's basically a rating that is can give an investor pause to think that it's basically risk-free with that kind of a rating. So just putting it out there from, soup to nuts, what we are looking for and what we're doing.
Great. And actually, if I could add a little bit too, just from Realty Pilot's standpoint, to make this relationship a lot easier, and the question with the utilities actually is a good question to tie into this, is when an agent submits a property to Blue Mountain Homes, the entire relationship is actually very, very simple in that anything that the agent does, such as turn on the utilities, can automatically be seen by you, Earl, and anything that you do can be automatically seen by the agent. So as soon as you have a property in the system that you have purchased, Blue Mountain can click on a task to send to the agent, turn on the electricity. As soon as the agent does that, Earl sees that, and Earl's people see that. The agent pays the bill for the electricity. The next month, Earl can see that and automatically get a check going back the agent's way. So again, kind of that automation to help move the relationship along, because hopefully this isn't the only part of your real estate business. So you're spending as little time on the clerical things as possible, and everybody moves a little more quickly and makes money.
Sure.
Anything? I don't see any other questions. Do we have anything else? Doug, do you have anything that you might need to add that I might not have thought of?
No. Earl had quite a few questions that were sent to him throughout the week after our big email campaign that we did last week, and he's already answered all of those, and already addressed them in this teleconference. So we should be good.
Okay, good. Earl, anything else from you, my friend?
No, I just have to say it's a pretty smart crowd with very little questions.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Well, it's just because you're so great and to the point, Earl.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing a nice flow start showing up, and we're really looking forward to working with your the agent population there that you've assembled.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it too. So, and to all the agents that are on the call, if you need anything at all, don't know where to start, please give us a call. Click this live chat button at the top of your page for those of you that can see my screen. And also, again, for the agents and for you, Earl, I recorded this presentation, so anyone that might have missed it, we can get this packaged up by Monday so that we can send it out to anyone else that might need to see it.
Oh, terrific. That'd be nice.
All right. And if there's nothing else, I will end this for now, and I look forward to talking to everyone soon.
Thank you very much again for setting this up.
Yeah, thanks, Earl.
Thank you.
Bye now.
See you.